Thanks for staying with us. So yesterday on the show, we touched on poverty. That poverty is not just about the lack of resources, but it's the poverty of the mind. And the question today is that, have you really checked yourself? You might be a poor person. Because the truth is, you might live in Lekki, you might live in Banana Island, you might live in Abuja, Maitama, you can live in, but you might actually be very poor. And the reason why this conversation is important, because there was a video that went viral in the last 24 hours where a woman was speaking to her house help, allegedly, because based on the video, who was eating spaghetti, sauced spaghetti. And she was telling the girl how privileged she is eating spaghetti in her house. You know, saying that, I mean, in a few minutes, our producers will play the video for you. But in the meantime, and she was talking to the girl saying that, you know, did your father's house, did they ever give you chicken and spaghetti? Now God has brought you to heaven. You're now eating spaghetti. And the girl was just, little girl, was just looking and listening to this woman who was recording. And then she posted the video. And it reminded me of our conversation yesterday. That is an example of the poverty that Nigerians are suffering from. Many of us are suffering from. Because we drive the biggest cars doesn't mean that we are rich or we are wealthy in mind. Many of us are still very poor. So today we are examining ourselves as Nigerians. Are we poor? And if we are poor, what's going to elevate this nation is not the physical riches we have, is the mental wealth we can actually develop, and that's our conversation.
I don't know why I feel like I need to clap for that introduction. I'm telling you, like I'm just shaking my own head.
You can join the conversation on 020-163-52013, 090-214-63440. You can also send us a message on X and also on YouTube. We'll be happy to read your thoughts. Who would like to jump in first? Maka?
Yes. Morayo. Spot on. Well, that's in the Bible says, poor in spirit. Poverty of the mind. That's the worst typo. Now it brings me to, let's start as a nation, a country, Nigeria, all of us. Do you realize that we have grab mentality, mindset? Do you realize that?
Of course.
Tell politicians that have 50 cars, 100 houses, they are still grabbing. Poverty of the mind.
Is it only politicians? Let us
No. I want to start. I'm coming. Let's start from the top. Like as in you have access to everything, you're still grabbing.
True.
What kind of children are you raising as parents? Let's keep that one place. Then we now come down to the middle class. Then you feel because you're feeding a child unhealthy food. Plain spaghetti. There's no meat, nothing. Carbs. And then you feel that she's in heaven. Madam, you and your husband are poor. Is that is what heaven looks like to you?
I'm telling you.
That you think that speaking to a little child, intimidating a child. Look at the way the baby was just looking at her like as in. But you know, I like that child. Yeah. She just they chop the food. They go, they talk, they chop. But you're not my concern. Let me eat the food. But let me not talk everything. Let me leave the stage for that people to speak.
For me, you know, I just feel that this video, I hope we get to show it soon. Everything that we talked about, having money and then yet being poor, that video just encompasses it. This, for me, is when they say some people are so poor, all they have is money. That is what I saw play in this video. And just as you said, this grab mentality, we have it even amongst ourselves. You know, you are at the workplace, an opportunity comes, when you could have given someone, it is not your field, you're not really that interested in it, but how can they say one more person got it? So you will make sure that you grab everything. You are with, you know, you are somewhere, someone is being disenfranchised for whatever reason, you know, but because it just puts another feather in your cap that you own more, you will join everybody in making sure that that person doesn't get it. I've seen poverty in so many ways. You say I've seen people come and talk about what they do for their house help. Do you know I did this? Do you know I did that? I did this, I did that for the house help. In their mind, they've done the biggest. But people are silent, not because they are not doing it. They are listening to you and thinking, Madam, we do exactly the same thing, even more. But when we do it, we think we're just being decent human beings. We're just treating another human being like a human being. But Nigerians, we have a lot of that mindset. And yesterday when we were talking, BC was saying that sometimes people come from such absolute poverty of material things that it rips away their humanity. So maybe that is what this is about, that Nigerians came out of so much poverty that all they have left is just how to grab and to be materialistic. That is just one way of explaining it. Although I feel there is just a lack of decency, no character, no set proper values and principles, and the fact that we worship money in this country. And so that is why people will amass a lot of wealth, and it does not matter how they get it, you worship them. And of course, they will behave as stupidly as they think it is, you know, that they are allowed to. That woman, not only did she say that to the girl, she thought it was such a big deal. She thought, let's put it up on social media so people can see the heaven they have created for you. Amaka, you are right. Imagine that's her vision of heaven. Sitting on the floor with a plate of spaghetti. That's not my heaven. Do you see how poor that person is? No.
It's the fact that she made the girl sit there.
On the floor?
Yeah. So
and she stood over her.
There's a dining table at the house that, you know, when she needs to show off, the guests would know they use the dining table. I love to sit on the floor to eat. If I want to enjoy the food, it's on the floor like this. That's the way I enjoy the food. And I still do that. Even at my office, when it's time to eat, I put my prayer mat, I sit on the floor. I enjoy it, and I finish, I pack it. So if you want to ask me for my heaven, it's on the floor when the food is passing directly. You know, it's flowing. So sitting at a dinner table for me, straight back, all of that, that's for the show off. But the fact that some people think it's punishment, so how can you sit at my level? I had such an experience. I visited the family once, and for whatever reason, I stretched my legs out of their table. I was reminded that you put your leg on the stool, the side stool. I was tired. I sit straight. I say, yes, ma'am. Immediately, I put my legs down. Yeah. I've had the experience where I bought a watch, and a neighbor who just returned from Russia, back then, not to school, said, you are using the same watch as me. I saw the watch on her, and I loved it. And I was passing at Yanoba. I saw somebody carrying watches. I was like, I want this watch. I saved my last money for it.
You mentioned this.
Yeah. And she took us off her hand the moment she saw I was wearing. Took it and flung it away. That day you wear the same watch as me.
What? Wow.
This was my hard-earned business money as 18.
Please, I will collect the second
underwear,
watch.
bras and everything. I remember that watch used to stretch like it's silver. I saved everything I had to buy it. So I know there's poverty. There is poverty, which is, you know, your lack of access to education, to equal economic opportunities. To, you know, people are really there. People, that's their reality. So they're actually poor people. But there are people whose poverty is such that they think that the more materialistic they become, the more houses, cars, that to them increases or elevates their status. The out of poverty they are.
Let me bring it home. And the reason why I want us to bring it home, because sometimes it's always easy to point, forgetting that we are also equally guilty. I mean, I've shared the story before when myself and my husband moved to our new house, you know, and we bought air conditioner for every room, in the kitchen, everywhere. In the children's room, in the living room, there were 2 boom boom. And then Band-Aid came. Our brain quickly reset because the first monthly bill we got was 500,000 naira. My husband had to call the meeting, hello, okay, maybe we are not supposed to be in this. Maybe, in fact, this house, maybe we're not supposed to be in this house. Because the reality is that many of us, we have small money, and the first thing we want to do, let us splash. Your living room, your dining, everything must look like, yes, we have arrived. And we had to remind ourselves, hello, we can't be paying 500,000 naira a month. So kitchen, first of all, that air conditioner is not necessary. You open the windows. We had to remind ourselves that the kitchen does not need air conditioner. We have to remind ourselves that all the extra room that there's nobody in does not need AC fan. We put fan there. Even in our own rooms, the kids now, I mean, we try to manage, but the idea is that we have to reset ourselves. Because sometimes when we as Africans, we have the money, we want to buy the biggest cars, but then we can't fuel it afterwards. The first few months you have money, and then you're not looking for who can help you buy money to fuel the car because you can't maintain that.
No, that's not doing things within a level of...
That's the mentality I'm talking about, the poverty mentality. Because
no, that might not be. That might be you wanting to gratify yourself for your work. Hold on, no, I'm coming. I want to put a distinction.
Okay.
So you've where I am right now. If I have that house, I probably will put ACs on. Put them there. If I can't afford them, I simply turn it off. Do you understand? I didn't put it there so that when Moriah visits me, she would die and faint.
I'm talking about the mentality.
I'm coming. The distinction I'm making. The thinking behind it wasn't for you to pepper anybody.
Oh, of course.
The thinking behind it for most Nigerians who have poor minds, who have poor mindsets, and think that materialism is to pepper anybody. So you can't afford it, but you go die of basic. Because how dare Moriah visit my house and she didn't faint?
Yes.
So it's lack
how
of
dare Moriah see my car and she did not fall over?
Yes. It's not enough that I admire that you have made money.
It.
I have to be jealous of you.
You have to
be envious of you so that you will feel.
That's half of the mentality. Where I'm from, when we say I have arrived, people.
That's why
when we have arrived, you must faint. Who are you? I come to your house when I'm going. I will check how you reacted to the car. After when she see me, pain now.
Yes.
Because
that's why that pepper them thing never stood.
It doesn't that's the mentality. So I will go out of my way, inconvenience myself because I must pepper you. Yeah. But the mentality that is poor that you have is that where I'm coming from, if I had the means, I will put the AC. And when you finally reach there, you put it. Yeah. It is yours to own. You can come and say, you off switch. It's your house. Somebody will come and you will gladly say to them, I put the AC in the kitchen because I thought I needed it. But you will not be ashamed. But you know some houses you visit. Yeah. When a visitor comes in, you will put on the AC and be telling the visitors around on everything. You won't be able to say to the person, I hear you.
So I hear Nima, but I also hear what Moriah is trying to say. So that's another way of looking at it. But I also see what you're saying. And it's not necessarily maybe an individual problem now. It's just the way we've also become just as a society. What are the things I put in my house to show that I have arrived?
Yes.
So even if it's not something I have, even if it's not something that I think I need or I think is necessary, but it's a statement of arrival. So I put it. So that's what she's talking about. She says that means we put that over what we actually needed. What we actually
because where we are, the country, Nima.
Yes, so that's cannot take a lot of things that habits that we have.
The truth, so same way I feel when I see when I went to Kenya, I went to a 3 or 4 star hotel.
They use fans.
There was no air conditioner. Because because of the country they understand that we have fresh air. I was upset that
was a business decision.
I'm telling you, to make you understand the thinking. As a nation where we are, can our economy withstand the amount of hotels we have in this country? How many hotels are there empty?
Do you know how many people visit this country?
No. And let me tell you something.
Let
me tell you something. Like I agree with Moriah what she's saying. Like we're not even pushing the tourism aspect that on this year or between last year and this year that we're still pushing that, right? So I agree with you because all this boils down to one thing, to 3 things: lack of contentment as a nation, all of us. Then lack of character.
Yeah,
we lack character in this country.
We do.
Then we have 0 values.
Yeah.
0 values. Yeah. Because when you sit people, when you have conversations with people, and you sit people down, and then you ask them what their values are, people don't even understand. They don't even know themselves. You have to first of all start, know thyself. Who are you? What are your values? People don't even graduates. People don't even friends that you have. They don't even know their values. They don't even know what they stand for. And if you don't know who you are, you can fall for anything. That's why it's easy for you to get an opportunity, be given an opportunity to be a politician or to sit on a seat, or not even necessarily a politician, to be a banker or anything. Immediately you abuse. You're looking for how to steal, how to buy the next car that you can't afford, how to do this, how to take bribes. It's easy because you lack character. Because Oju Kokoro, you have longer throats. You're not contented. And that is the poverty of the mind. Yeah. Because if you know yourself and you love yourself, the richness of who you are, like when you know yourself and you have values, you're wealthy inside. Yeah. You have richness in your spirit. Then when certain things come to you, you can say no. You can admire that you say no.
Close to you.
I have to go in a short video. Sorry. Let's go in a short. When we come back, we'll show the video. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So joining the conversation in the studio is our friend, Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, widely celebrated as the common sense guru, a transformational leader, wealth coach, prolific author, and global speaker who is here to share his perspective on this our matter. You know, because yesterday we started the conversation on this poverty, rich kids, poor kids, LAPO, NEPO, and NEPO.
Yes, NEPO,
NEPO. But you can join the conversation because before you came in, Doc, welcome to the show, first of all.
Thank you, Mba. You know, I'm a co-host.
Yes,
Co-host. Making I give me contract by any minute.
So, you know, we were talking about poverty of the mind, you know, and we're saying that we need, as Nigerians, to examine ourselves because our nation can't really grow if our mind isn't reformed. And that's really where I wanted the crux of this conversation to go, because it's easy to point a finger, because there was a video, which I'll play right now in the phone where we're referring to, where a woman was talking to a young girl who was eating spaghetti in the house. In fact, let's watch this video, then we'll discuss it afterwards.
So you are eating spaghetti now. You are eating. Do you used to eat spaghetti in your father's house?
No.
What are you eating in your father's house?
Fufu, rice, potato, and garlic.
And you are here eating spaghetti, indomie, tea, chicken, egg. You don't know what God did for you. You are messing up. They carry you put for heaven. You don't want to appreciate God. You mess the opportunity up. So now you go back to your mother's house and start eating your fufu in peace. Abi? Yeah? And I continue eating. They enjoy. You enter my house, they enjoy. You know, appreciate God. So you are eating.
Wow.
So now it's easy to accuse her, but in your view, we don't like to accuse people. We try to understand the thinking behind it. So that's why we talk about the poverty mentality. For somebody to do that in the first place, she also is very poor in mind, and that's why I wanted to see
actually
how
poorer.
She's poor
She's poor.
and wicked
She's poorer.
and confused. You can't say we should not accuse this child abuse.
You record the
You now even recorded it and put it on what? For what purpose? The girl said we eat fufu, rice,
Potatoes, healthy food, organic food,
Real
and you are
food
talking
from
spaghetti.
the ground.
In the scheme of things, it is that spaghetti itself that is the error.
And
So, and what? So
what's
our house is not heaven.
auntie, sugar.
Our house is not heaven. That you have brought it to heaven. You see, in fact, this is just. This is too much. I can't. I don't know how people survive.
Okay, so I'm happy you addressed her. Going back to the issue of poverty mentality, because this is one person we're seeing, but there are a lot of people that are like this.
Yeah,
Miriam has said it about that. A lot of people do things for their help, so their drive, and they are making this like it's a big deal. When it's like that's a humanity thing to do. You know, that's a humane thing to do actually. You know, so the point is, as a country, how can we begin to not just examine, but begin to rebuild our mind such that it is rich in knowledge, not in material things. Because we said something also yesterday that you are so poor that all you have is money. And we need to really fix that as a nation. So where do we start rebuilding this?
Wow, this is amazing. It's evident that we have actually lost our humanity on many levels. And this is sad. Just listening to that is just something else. So, I believe very strongly that many times definition is very important. And when we don't have the right definition of terms, then it becomes a problem. So when we say poverty, what do we mean by poverty? Because poverty is very wide, and there are dimensions. So what we have seen here, she may have money, but she does not have the kind of wealth that is required, because there is spiritual poverty, there is mental poverty, emotional poverty, relational poverty, material poverty, financial poverty. So, and we need to look at it from the holistic dimension. Then when it comes to how can we help people, it begins from the grassroots. Now, I had to watch yesterday's show because I was like, okay, when they say I should come to, I wanted to be sure was when people started coming to all this, your LAPO, I was like, where did they come with all this vocabulary? But you see, everyone is born with the possibilities to become all that they can be. But when they are now born, Nobody is born rich or poor. You are born either into riches or into poverty.
Yeah.
But everybody has the same potential, the same possibility. But when they now come, their background, their upbringing, their environment, their association, their exposure, their level of education now determines what will happen to them. So if we want to change things from our own perspective, what we need to do is to have a plan as a nation and then to start from the grassroots. When I did my second PhD, I finished in 2022, I did my dissertation on the role of personal development and political leadership on the economic empowerment of individuals. And you will be amazed to realize that the government has a lot to do, because government determines the kind of hospital you'll be born in.
Yes.
Government determines the maternal mortality.
Yes.
Government determines whether you will have the vaccine that will help you to grow. Government determines the kind of educational system that you go into. So if we are going to change things in the national scheme of things, we need to now start from the grassroots. Many of us, we don't do summer jobs anymore. We don't do volunteerism. So when people are brought up with the understanding of the fact that you are created to impact your world and to make a difference, even from primary school, they'll be going on excursions to see how other
Boy
people
Scout, Girl
live.
Scout.
They'll be doing all those Boy Scout, Girl Scout. So all those things are no more. That's how you build, because whatever people grow up to see is what they see as normal. So for us in this part of the world, a lot of people have been desensitized because of the environment that humanity is lost. And that's why we can see things like this. So it's all about the right kind of education, consistent education. That's the first thing. The second thing is we learn by emulation. We learn by observation, and then we learn by training. So when you now see what people all around you are doing, you now realize that, okay.
Sir, let me pause you for a second, because as I said, I don't want us to look at the usual suspects. You know, I want us to really examine ourselves as Nigerians. So for example, I turned 40, and because my friend did the party and she had the money, I don't have the money, but she's my friend, now let me do something. So I now borrow from Nima, say, please, now give me 5 M. You to give me, because I need to do a party, because my best friend just looked like, you know. So I am putting myself under pressure to look a certain way, because that's what society demands of me. I have to do this big party, I must shut down the Lagos. Now, I have done that. For me, it gives me fulfillment. For me, it gives me... No, so I'm just telling you, the thinking we have as a people, it is so important that at my 40th birthday, I'm shutting down. Fuji comes, Reggae comes, everybody comes, and you know. Now, my question is, how do we help ourselves in that situation? Because many of us are trapped in that mentality that we must show. It has become a culture.
Can I say something? Yeah. So for me, I think that's talking about materialism. Yeah. That we have, what is more important is how we show up lavishly. So you have another friend who may have celebrated that 40th in a quieter way, or maybe she went to a home and made donations, and she didn't put it on social media, you know, had a prayer session. She just, that day she used it to, you decided not to, for you, yes, you didn't follow that. There are human beings doing different things. Let me give you an example. I was talking to a lady who said that her children, after school, her children were moving abroad to school. And she realized, you know, from primary, secondary, and their life, they've always lived in privilege. And she was afraid that here she is taking, but she has always been with them, but she's taking them outside the country. And she didn't want them to lose their humanity. So just before they traveled, they spent time at a place that she volunteers at, where motherless children are dropped off. And, you know, they try and take care of these children. They match them up with parents. And, you know, there's absolute poverty in those areas. She says when she traveled with her children after that experience, that sometimes they'll say a nice bag that they really like, but this time they'll say, but that would be an amount that would help this child. So all of a sudden their mindset changed because she opened their up to something different. So that is now the values we're talking about, the principles we're talking about. So they know that there's privilege, they understand it, but they also know that there's some things that are more important. So they became wealthier by that experience.
Okay, like when you talked about humanity, so, you know, I like to always extend grace to people, no matter how tiny, take it tiny. So this family now, for example, I want to extend grace to them. You know, they've lost their humanity, but not totally. Why am I saying this?
This woman, right? This woman.
This year on TV.
Okay.
So you can see that they're thank God they're even feeding the child.
Okay.
Because let me tell you, there are people that when they're upset with their helps, they don't feed them, they starve their helps. Right? They ration the food, at least the food on the plates. I can see it's a substantial food plate for that small pikin. It's supposed to be okay for the pikin. And then they named everything that they've been giving the child in their own mind that is supposed to be healthy. So at least I extend grace to them that they're feeding that child.
Okay.
Do you understand? The child, I looked at the child's outfit, even though the child is sitting on the floor, it's okay. So, you know, most times people don't know better. If you know better, you will do better.
Yeah.
So in essence, that's when I talked about us having zero values as a set. And what you can only extend or teach what you know.
Okay.
If you didn't have parents or your immediate environment, friends and people you surround yourself with, if they're all acting in a setting where you would think that is the norm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because anybody with common sense would know not to post, take a video of this underage child and post on social media. Because trust me, when they were doing this thing, in their mind, they didn't believe that they were doing anything wrong. Because for them, this is the norm. And this is how helps should be treated.
So I want to believe she didn't post it too. I want to believe somebody that she sent it to posted it. But the point is that because if she did post it, they should have her arrested for emotional abuse of that child.
She took a video and she posted it to someone. It's still the same.
To send it, no.
It's the
she
same
can
mentality.
send it to someone maybe to justify. You know, we don't know circumstance. She might send it to someone who brought the girl, maybe the way the family. Because I've seen ingratitude though. I've seen what ingratitude has led somebody. I have put someone in school, the person did not, and they did not refund my money. And that's the end of it. So I have seen some things. But if she posted this video, they should pick her up. If she posted it on a social media platform for any kind of advantage,
but we're still not going on the issue of examining ourselves.
I wanted to build on the example you laid. So the need for materialism, the culture of it is not something that started with us. Because Moria is emphasizing looking within. But we see it. It's the way to think that you have finally made it. If you've made it and all you have is peace of mind, you'll still be looking outside and thinking, where are the houses good? Is it only me? Because there are so many houses belonging to a few people. There are so many cars belonging to a few people. And these few people are still the only ones. And you think maybe you're friends with someone and this your friend has traveled 10 times in a year. You know, and you think, why won't I travel at all? Or this your friend has one house. You know how people talk, say, I have 35 houses, you know? But you actually live in only one. This excessive materialism has continued to impoverish us, but we don't see it that way.
Now you have said it now. That's not,
but it's the culture.
Yes.
It's the culture of the materialism that is prevalent amongst our people.
Yeah, and
all of us went to a place, we did not see people counting houses and cars. We thought it was normal. But when we come back home here, the need to have it is your final gratification for yourself. So you work so hard to be able to have it so that you can feel fulfilled. Because that's what your culture, that's what the prevalent culture is. When we were little, our parents' days when they were kings, the kings had to have many. In women, in houses, in horses, to have achieved. So a young man's child to look up and say, the only reason this person can talk down at me is because they have so much. Status will rise, my status will change if I have excessive material things. And the culture continues. It's a culture.
I have to go on a very short break. When we come, I'll let you respond to that. I'll call it my response. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
because that
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us, because we'll be wrapping up very soon. I mean, we have just about 15 minutes. I really need Dr. Olumide to help us, because I don't want us pointing fingers again. I really want Nigerians to see themselves and see, where am I doing wrong? What way am I acting poor? In what way am I poor? Because you might be living in a beautiful house, but your mentality is really poor. And we need you to be wealthy in mind, because that's the only way all of us can collectively help in building this nation.
money is nothing but a tool for the fulfillment of purpose. And once you have not identified the purpose for your existence, you'll be pursuing shadows. What Nima was talking about, it's all about the value you live by. How do you define wealth? You already have a family, that is wealth. You are healthy, that is wealth. You have good relationship, that is wealth. You are knowledgeable enough to know what you should be living for, that is wealth. So by the time we move from that point, we enter materialism. You already have a house, you have a car, you can pay your bills, you can eat. That's all. Those are the basics. Every other thing is extra. And that extra is supposed to be subject to the purpose that you want to achieve. If your purpose is to reach out to people in a village, then your budget will be village budget. If your purpose is to reach out to people in a nation, your budget will be nationwide budget. But most of the time, people are looking for the money and the resources that is beyond the purpose that they have. And once they have money beyond their purpose, they run mad. They go wild because you don't have any purpose for that money. So you have to look for something. That's why there are a lot of sins, because money gives you liberty and freedom.
Yes.
There are a lot of evils and ills that people will never think of. There are a lot of temptation that will never come to you when you are poor. The very minute you have money, that is when those new kind of temptation will show up. Because now you have the money that doesn't have a purpose. But there are people now that have billions in their accounts, but the vision and the purpose they are pursuing is in multiple billion. So even if they have 5 billion, they are still pursuing more. Not because they want to buy another shoe, but because they have another vision that is beyond the 5 billion. But when people don't have vision, if your vision is a 10 million naira vision and you have 50 million, that remaining 40 million, you have to look for club to go and buy a drink of 500,000 and think that you are right, because low self-esteem, inferiority complex is a software that is running some people. So I think, what is your personal value? When you have personal value, you will realize that a good name is better than silver and gold. You will realize that integrity.
Yes. I want us to understand this, because if your aim, if your entire life purpose, what I'm hearing you say, because one of the people I admire the most in this world is my mother-in-law. This woman is not trying to do anything else, but just raise her 4 children.
And that's enough.
And go to heaven. And go to heaven. This her 4 children is her entire life. And when I now individually look at these 4 children, they are successful individually. And that woman, she's just doing her business. She's not talking about purposeful. And I'm like, this woman is so wealthy, she doesn't even know how wealthy she is. There's no country she wants to go to that she's not going to. She's got visa here, she has citizenship here. She doesn't even appreciate that. I can't ban the US. She has green card and she's there just, hey man, New York, you know, she's so wealthy. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this woman, if you understand what you have,
she understands what she has.
She understands what she has.
It's other people trying to give new definitions
of what
for her to affirm, but she has fulfilled what she do.
You know, this reminds me of some pictures of celebrities when they go visit their parents, and then they put it on social media. You have Nigerians saying, how come your parents are still living in this sort of house? How come they are, because they don't understand that the wealth, they are not seeing the world that you have described. For them, they're happy that they have raised children who are successful, that you know them to the point that you can even criticize what our family house looks like.
Most of those houses, they have fresh air, they can go cut their vegetables, they are not eating all the poison you are eating, thinking you are a big man or a big woman, and they are living well, living long. And
I can go home and relive childhood memories in my childhood home.
They sleep with joy. They are not afraid that somebody will come and call them out for this or that, because they have lived a life of integrity.
Like definition.
It's definition.
Yes. And there's something like there was a post I made sometime this last week where I said, focus on your focus. Nothing else deserves your attention. So you see that child, right, that was eating that food. We need to learn from that child. That child was so focused eating that food, regardless of everything that was happening around her. Whatever that is happening around you in life, whatever the naysayers, anybody is saying, focus on your focus. Don't get distracted though. That girl, regardless of everything that was happening to her, she was eating that food.
And you need to articulate what she was eating in her father's house.
So that is where
she's focused.
For me, that was what gave me some sort of hope that she's there. That she's still there. Because those words, I don't know how often you need to hear those words that you start believing the lies. You understand? She still talked about what she eats in her father's house with confidence. Because to have, a lot of people will say, like we already said, she looks well. There's a plate of food in front of her. But her mind, if that woman stands over her head every day and tells her things like that, every day she's killing her, degrading her,
damage her psychologically. She may be looking okay, but she's completely
The girl needs internal power to react. So belle first. As you dey talk, your talk is for you. I need to get energy. I will react to you later. That's what she did. She focused. She needs power to go crazy.
Let's take a few comments on social media as we wrap up.
So Afsa says, when you are contented, you are like a king. The peace of mind that comes to you, no be here. You will sleep with your two eyes closed. Oladi said there's a lot of monies in Nigeria, but they don't reach their destination. And that's what I want to talk about. You know, we don't balance wealth here. It's in a few hands, and it's okay for those, we boast of the 1% of the 1%. But when you go to Qatar, you cannot even tell the poor man from the rich man. Because they practice they practice a balanced Islamic system of zakah.
But that's where government comes in now.
Culture, no need. Our government will not. Fela sang a song. He said, culture and tradition.
Because everybody, the basics.
Our government is not different.
Education free for everybody. Once you get to this age, you have a house. Once you get to this stage, you have this money. When you marry, you get this. It's already part of the commonwealth. That commonwealth and those basics are not available for many people here. So healthcare free, education free, this free, because the money from oil, it is constitutionally settled that everybody must have their portion. But the money here, not everybody is having their portion. Only few people are having their portion. Most of the rich people in the world today, you cannot trace their wealth to any productive invention or product or service that they have produced. It's because they have the right connection and they're able to connect to one opportunity, and then the common way that should go to other people comes to one person. And most of them don't have enough purpose to now share it. But when there is one crisis, they come and drop 1 billion. And they say, oh, the billionaires are drawing 1 billion. But what were you doing before that crisis came?
So that's almost like this. And that's almost like what this woman did, only in a smaller way, which is when there's a crisis, you give a plate of spaghetti and see what I've given you. I sent them 1 billion. I sent them 2 billion, but so what? But let me read this comment. Ogumola Emmanuel says, if you come to my house as a host, I'll offer you the best. Most time, offering you what I would not necessarily use at my will. It's how I esteem, it's how I hold you in esteem, I guess, saying. Making a guest comfortable isn't show off at times. And then we have Thing Gummy says, don't confuse mentality and values with poverty, which is the state of lack of resources to meet basic needs like food, shelter, and there is not a shortage in Nigeria, and there's not a shortage in Nigeria. People exchange their votes for onions and salt and rush to scoop petrol from tankers.
We have to wrap up, unfortunately, but I know that I have to ask you about your business sustainability summit, which is coming up. How is that going?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
You were here about it for the last time.
Yeah, I came the last time. So we give opportunity for people to pay at 50% discount. So if they're interested to join us, they can still do that.
I know we did not mention, we did not show the numbers last time. So that's also, we're trying to show.
So they can plug in. They have the opportunity to pay 50% discount by the end of this month. So those that are coming in as individuals, instead of 4.5, they pay 2,250,000. If they want to come with their spouse, where one person is paying 2,250,000, the spouse will now pay another 50% since they are staying in the same room. And then people that are coming with their staff, instead of 750, they pay 375. And if you are coming with 5 of your staff, they pay 300,000 each. It will now be 1.5 million for each.
Wishing you the best. We know we did not show the numbers last time.
So they can call us and then
for us to show it properly. So that's our fears. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure having you. You're the right person for this topic.
I'm telling you.
I mean, I think what I got the most from this is that, you know, how everybody must have defined their own value of wealth. I mean, for me, that opened my mind, because the truth is that everybody has what wealth means to you. Materialism doesn't necessarily mean wealth. It's not. It's not even wealth at all. You know. So, and if you where you are, if wealth comes to you, if you don't have the purpose to drive it, you then go and use it for anything. And that's what we see. So when we see people just buying things, because they've not gotten a purpose. For that
money
wealth.
Without a mission.
Oh, fantastic.
Money is a good servant, but a bad master.
I think we can end that. Let's go on a very short break. It's Tuesdays, our health Tuesday. We have to do something on health. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.